Hello and welcome to a brand new series on talkSPORT Boxing in Camp With. In this series, we're going to be spending the day with a current boxer in training to find out a bit more about them and what it is exactly that they have to put themselves through. Now, in this first episode, we're here at the illustrious Loughborough University to spend the day with one of the most decorated British amateur boxers of all time, Frazer Clarke.
Boxing has to be at the Olympics. Forever, you know, for me, it's a non-negotiable within the Olympics.
You know, for me, it's a pleasure to have them. You know, like Kieran, Frazer, Richard, AJ, both learn from each other.
Even in this training camp, the other day, AJ was hitting a bag. I just saw Frazer finished his session, just walked over, started screaming, telling AJ, "Give it, give it, give it."
You're going to want to stick around right to the very end for some brilliant stories on Anthony Joshua. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button. We've got loads coming up for you.
Shall go.
Right, Frazer Clarke, thank you very much indeed for letting us spend the day with you today. Looking forward to it, but what I want to know first up is, what does the average Frazer Clarke day look like? What we're going to be doing today?
So today is a sparring day. You've come on a good day. We've got some sparring and we're going straight into a explosive circuit. And then maybe some stretching and stuff later on this afternoon. I'd like to call it yoga, but it's not quite yoga. It's more just a bit of stretching. They call it yoga, but I can't do yoga. No. I'm a heavyweight. I don't do yoga. Do you know what I mean? Even though I should. Yeah. So that's what we got today.
So first up, you've had your breakfast this morning. Talk us through again. You know, what do you usually start the day with? You've got a busy day. You've got a couple of gym sessions today. You're a big guy, you need your fuel. What's a Frazer Clarke breakfast?
So obviously I'm staying here at the Athletes Hotel in Loughborough. All the food is really clean, really good. You know, I work with a nutritionist, Andy, and on a sparring day like today, and it's a heavy day afterwards as well with the circuit, you know, we need to carb up. It's heavy carbs this morning's breakfast. So I went with the bagel with my breakfast, my poached eggs, asparagus, avocado, smoked salmon, and then extra hit of carbs, fruit juice, extra hit of carbs in the porridge as well. So for me, that was a big breakfast. That was a lot for me, do you know what I mean? But I need it because, you know, this morning's going to get intense with the sparring and then with the circuit straight after.
Let's talk about where we're at today. Loughborough University, we drove in, and everywhere I look, Frazer, it's sporting excellence. You know, I'm seeing top rugby players, athletes, swimmers, boxing. That's why you're here, right? This is the creme de la creme.
This is why I came, I think, because obviously I was in the Olympic cycle for so long, you know, for like 12 years at the Institute of Sport, and it's not like a conventional boxing gym. Like, I could have turned pro and I could have gone to London, I could have gone to Manchester, I could have gone to one of these, not, you know, the old school spit and sawdust gyms, the roadside gyms. But I've not grew up in that. I've been in this elite performance centre in Sheffield for so many years. I think it would have been difficult for me to come from that and then go to, like, you know, your normal boxing gym on the side of the road. So I wanted to get in more of a boxing environment or an athlete environment that had boxing involved in it. Luckily enough, Angel Fernandez was down here at Loughborough, and then I came down here a couple of sessions, and I just soon realised this is elite performance.
You know, for me, it's a pleasure to have them. You know, like Kieran, Frazer, Richard, AJ, both learn from each other. You know, every single one of them pushes. You know, they watch sparring each other. You know, it's a great atmosphere, and for me, it just makes me proud to be their trainer. Oh, he can go very far. You know, he's learning very well. He's a hard worker, very disciplined guy. You know, loves the sport, and he's in a great team here with us.
And it's just good to see other athletes. You know, like top athletes. Like, I could be in the gym working. I see Adam Peaty. You know, really. Yeah. He's a freak. He's a machine.
Yeah.
And every session is bang, bang, bang. You know, it's never less than 100%.
And then talking about the boxers that are here as well, you talk about the environment. You mentioned Adam Peaty, but, you know, we've got yourself here. You mentioned Angel Fernandez, your coach. We know we've got AJ here, Robert Garcia at the moment, Richard Riakporhe,
Kieran Malloy. You know, they're the four fighters, and they're all top class fighters. You know what I mean? They're very professional in the way they apply themselves. And also, like you said, you know, you have the likes of Robert Garcia here, you have the AJ team. It's just good people to be around. It's a good environment. I feel like I'm learning all the time, and, you know, like I say, you have to be a sponge around these people. They've done more than I have. They've gone to the levels that I'm hoping to go to. I'm trying to pick up things all the time. I know where I'm at and I know where I want to be, and I'm not quite there yet. So there's a lot of in between which I need to fill. And if I can learn off these people, and even like not just AJ, Richard. Richard's doing fantastic things, and seeing the way from when I first come into what he's doing now and the way he's going on in his fights. I learn a lot from Richard all the time, and the bond him and Angel have, the work they do, the work we all do. We're literally a big team, push each other on every single day, and just try and help each other, for the best.
Talk us through the injury and what's that been like for you. It must have been hugely frustrating. It was a big one, wasn't it? The injury.
Yeah, it's been a difficult time. I mean, like I say, I've been in boxing for a long time now. It's not my first injury, and believe it or not, it's not the worst one I've had. But it's been really difficult, this one. Just because I was just starting. I had my debut.
Yeah.
The ball was rolling. Everything which I've wanted for years it was happening. Do you know what I mean? I had my first fight out of the way, stoppage. Next fight was on the horizon, and then just a freak sparring accident. I had the big gloves on, normal shot which I've threw 100 times, and I just felt straight away, something wasn't right. Ended up being a Bennett's fracture to the thumb. So I had a few pins put in there, some metal put in there. I had a great surgeon, and great people at Derby Hospital looked after me. But it's been frustrating. It's been like, any athlete will tell you.
A hand injury as well for a boxer.
It's a nightmare. It's just like, these are the tools of my trade.
Yeah.
So it was difficult more, the mental side of things as well. Like, this is what I do day in, day out. And I was thinking, I'm a pro boxer now. Like, I'm injured. I'm no good. I'm a prize fighter. I need my hands. It's that simple.
Know your history with the Olympics, Frazer, and Team GB over the last 10, 20 years, real rich history. So many top names have come through. But I've got to ask you, there's been lots of rumours and speculation for a little while now about the future of boxing within the Olympics. What's your take on it? I'd imagine that you'd think it'd be pretty key and important that it stays, as an Olympic sport, right?
I think, boxing at the Olympics it makes the Olympics part of what it is. It's very competitive. Future stars are born. You just look at the names that have come out of the Olympics.
Huge.
Your Amir Khans,
Yeah.
your Anthony Joshua's, everyone else. The list goes on. Josh Watson, Nicola Adams, Joe Joyce. These people wouldn't be who they are today and wouldn't offer what they offer to pro boxing unless it was for the Olympic Games. And just being involved in the Olympic cycles and being in Olympic villages, what boxing is to them places. It's the culture. It's the different side of things. The different mentality the boxers bring. It's the excitement. Don't get me wrong. At these sporting games, the boxers 9 times out of 10 are pains in the arses. But
Obviously not you.
Not me, never.
Angel.
I am.
Yeah.
But we bring something different to the table, and I think the team spirit within our boxing, is something that not just Team GB, I think all the other countries in the world, they can look at the spirit of the fighters, they can look at the way the fighters just bring something different, like I say, that determination to win. It's not like any other sport, and I know that's a cliche and it's said a lot, but it's really, really that different, in terms of the mentality of the fighters and what they have to go through, the ups and the downs. And like I said, I just don't think, you have your 100-metre final, you have your swimming. That's turned massive over the last few years, and when we was at the games. Other than that, I'd say, in terms of the gymnastics, that's fantastic as well. But the boxing's a big one, when you're in them villages, you're in that environment, and even back here at home, people look forward to the boxing. Especially semi-finals, finals day. The prelims never get the attention they should, but finals, semi-finals, the Olympic Games, the boxing, I think it makes the Olympics what it is.
To play devil's advocate though, there has been quite a lot of controversy around it in recent years, and some pretty bad judging. Is that sometimes the attention and the focus that you want on boxing? Do you know what I mean? My point is that reflecting the sport that you know and love if we're kind of having these controversies each time we get into the Olympics?
No, not all. It's like it's something we all want ironed out. There's bad judgment and then there's cheating.
Yeah.
I think we've seen it at Rio. I think Tokyo was a lot better, and I'd like to think we're on the up and we're going forward, and it's going to get better again. any judge that's perceived to be cheating or official
It's not
perceived
very
cheating,
good.
it's just bad for the sport. It's bad in
Yeah.
anything, isn't it? But in boxing, as soon as you do that, it's a lifetime. Should be an instant lifetime ban. You should never work on the circuit again. Like I say, these are a lot of young people that this is their hopes and dreams and their future. And if it's going on, the basis of these guys that are doing it to earn a bit of extra cash, absolute scumbags. There's no place for them. So I think you need to get rid of the bad ones, keep the good ones. Boxing has to be at the Olympics.
So I know you've got the Del Boy tattoo on your leg, although I think I'm probably more likely, Frazer, to be able to have a conversation with you about Love Island as opposed to Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Sorry about
to
that,
be fair,
mate.
that is shocking.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's good, of course it is, but I don't think I'd quite go to the length of a tattoo. I think it'd be pretty weird if I had a Love Island tattoo on my arm, wouldn't it?
You look a bit like a Trigger anyway, so.
Is that a compliment? No.
It's like talking.
That's to ask for confirmation.
People know it's like talking to Trigger at the minute.
Oh, mate.
Shall go.
It's when we come into the gym, we all have a laugh and a joke, but this is where business takes place. It's not easy, mate. But it was, but we'll be doing it, won't we? Some people, like I say, think I'm a multi-millionaire and can pay them hundreds of pounds to spar, but I'm just trying to better myself. I'm not here to to take the piss and kill people in sparring. We're here to learn. And
Is this where the fun stuff starts for the day, is it? Or the serious business, or a bit of both?
yeah, it's just a serious business. You know, this is obviously when we come into the gym, we all have a laugh and a joke, but this is where business takes place. In this gym, we're very serious with the craft because we've got good fighters, but we want to keep the reputation of the gym going well. We're all training well, we're all training hard, and we have a responsibility. Once you come in here, if you don't use your time well, use your camp well, then you're going to regret it on fight night. So yeah, we're just here preparing to spar. So the coaches are up my hands.
So what's the plan today then? Is there a specific plan as such?
No, at the minute we have a different variety of spar. It's difficult to get sparring. What people don't understand is people just don't want to come and spar. Some people, like I say, think I'm a multi-millionaire and can pay them hundreds of pounds to spar. But I'm just trying to better myself. I'm not here to to take the piss and kill people in sparring. We're here to learn, and any heavyweights that are out there that want to come down and do some sparring and learn and get the rounds in. It's good for everyone. I mean, I get it if you're direct rivals, you can't really go sparring with each other. Sure. But there's so many heavyweights in the country, and I think it's good for everyone to mix it up. And you don't have to come down here, like I say, knock 10 bowls out of each other. But it's good to get the rounds in, get the practice in with different people. I've done it my whole amateur career, so something I want to carry on doing. Today, I'm lucky enough to have two of Joshua's sparring partners, two southpaws, different styles, tricky. Not that I'll be fighting a southpaw come fight night on the 30th, but like I say, I've been doing this for years. You get the rounds in, different experience, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be tough. These are the good fighters, so. And that's what we're here for. We're not here to win every round and walk around saying, I did this in the gym, did that in the gym. It means nothing. No. It matters under the lights.
And I've got to ask as well, the fact that you are in camp here with Anthony Joshua, I mean, that must be absolutely perfect for someone like you, not only for sparring, but just in general. I mean, what is that like? Do you get in the ring with AJ as well, or do you tend not to do that?
No, I don't. No, not at the minute. Obviously, he's preparing for Usyk, so I'm no benefit. I'm not of benefit to him at the minute. I try and observe the sessions because I enjoy boxing. I'm a fan, and I like to learn off the coaches. Angel and Robert, to be around these geezers and to listen to them speak, listen to the way they train later on in life when my boxing time's over and I'm a trainer, which I hope to be one day. Yeah, I can use some of this stuff. It's just good to see the way he does things, the way things are set up with the team he's brought in. I've learned you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in your camp, and it doesn't come cheap. He gets the best of the best to give himself the best opportunity come fight night.
Frazer's energy in this camp, well, just in general anyway. So if you've been a follower of Frazer Clarke, you would have seen him out in Rio supporting the whole Olympic team. He wasn't even competing. He went out there for a couple of weeks to help Joe Joyce prepare. In the lead up to his competition, and the energy that the camera caught it. When you look, he's standing there with the Union Jack flag. He's screaming in the arenas. You can hear that energy that he's bringing, and he's just got that big brother / daddy energy. So even in this training camp the other day, AJ was hitting a bag. I just saw Frazer finished his session, just walked over, started screaming, telling AJ, give it. And it was just like, it was seeing a brotherhood that was just bringing out the best in other people.
Yeah, and just on that relationship with AJ, it's not just it's a real friendship, isn't it? You guys have known each other a long, long time. Do you want to tell people, perhaps who aren't aware of the story, kind of how it started, where it started? Because it's no kind of coincidence that you're both here together, is it?
No, it actually started in Belvedere Club in Burton-on-Trent, 2009 I think it was. I sold about 500 tickets. Yeah. I was supposed to have a little knockover in my hometown. First time I was fighting, popular kid, popular guy. I sold like 500 tickets. The day before, I get a phone call. The guy's pulled out, and I'm like to the coach, I'm like, look, get anybody. He says, all right, no worries. He says, look, there's only one person who's willing to call me. He said, Mr. A. Joshua from Finchley, London. I said, no problem. Yeah. At this point, I was like riding the wave, no problem, bring anyone. I can remember just being on the scales, and then this shadow just came over me. I turned around, and all I could see was abs. Yeah. And I'd never seen them on me.
It's not changed then.
I'd just seen like a 15-pack, and I thought, oh, God. Yeah. I looked up and he was just looking at me menacing. He was huge. The funny thing, I can remember walking out. I walked out first. Massive cheer, massive crowd. Then he walked out from behind his door, and all he heard was from the crowd. My own fans went, "Oh!" Yeah. They knew what it was going to be, and we had a good fight. And then obviously come on the squads. He went to the World Championships, Olympics, and we're sparring with each other all through that. Then he became professional, and we're still training in the same gym at Sheffield, and just a natural friendship and bond. And I think there's more of a respect than anything. Do you know what I mean? I respect what he does, he respects what I does, and I'm always ears. I'm always listening to him. If he's got anything to say to me, if I have anything to say to him, I'd like to think he listens.
He respects you.
Just the respect there, because it's all right him having all these people around him, and he does have a lot of people around him. Everyone's got a different job, but it's different to hear it. Coming from a fighter. Yeah. I tell him as a fighter, as a friend, I'll never lie to him about what I think. I hope he don't do the same to me. He gives me the brutal honesty. Yeah. But that's what you need. It's not supposed to be easy. This is like, I can't emphasise enough how if people are having it easy in the gym, they're doing it wrong. It's that simple. This is supposed to be the hottest. This is supposed to be harder than the fight. This is the boxing business. Winning is everything. So I have to keep winning, improving, and I want to pick targets up along the way. Back up what I say on fight night, and then in 6 fight time, 8 fight time, people say, you know what? He wasn't just talking rubbish because the camera was there. He's genuinely moving towards that crop.
So then, Frazer, that's you done for the day. Pretty intense, I have to say. Is that a pretty standard session for you, pretty standard day?
Yeah, I mean, you say intense. I'd say that as more of a lighter day, to be honest.
Serious?
Lighter day, yeah. Good sparring, like I say, it's good to mix it up with a couple of Southpaw sparring partners. They're both good boys as well, do you know what I mean? It's not like you're sparring people that you just taking liberties with, the shots coming back. But it's the only way to learn. I enjoyed it, there's things that I did well, there's things that I can improve on. And if we come away from the gym each day with that in mind, that's when you progress and get better as a fighter.
And again, there was 2 of the guys in there. Is that pretty standard that they take it in turns to keep everything fresh?
You want to train under pressure. This is where if you lose your rounds or you have you take the big shots, you do it here in the gym in the sparring. So at fight night, you switch onto these things. You know what's coming. So them being fresh, coming in and out, puts me under pressure all the time. I have to stay on my toes. I have to be thinking all the time because there's different styles coming in. But it's not supposed to be easy. This is like, I can't emphasise enough how if people are having it easy in the gym, they're doing it wrong. It's that simple. This is supposed to be the hottest. This is supposed to be harder than the fight.
One thing I did notice when you were sparring was there was kind of little instruction in terms of lots of noise. You were very much kind of left to your own devices, and then obviously during the rounds or when there was a break, you then Angel would have a chat with you maybe about some of the things you wanted to work on. Is that pretty standard again, or usually have you got someone barking orders at you from the side?
I mean, it just depends on coaching styles. I'm not saying that there's right and wrong, but I believe, and I believe that we believe in this gym, coming from Angel, that sometimes less is more.
So let's talk about beyond July the 30th. So we know you're back in fighting again then, but I want to look beyond then. It almost feels like an interview question, but where do you see yourself like in a year's time, in 2 years' time? Because often we know that the ultimate goal, of course, is to be world heavyweight champion, right? But what's the progress to get to that point?
And it's a big goal. That's far away. That's somewhere. There's a journey towards that, and on the journey, that's what you're asking, I suppose. I want to improve first and foremost. Improve myself. But then, I think about, like I talked to you about, this is the boxing business. Winning is everything. So I have to keep winning, improving, and I want to pick titles up along the way. I'm in this sport because I love the sport. I've seen the good nights it brings. I'm in a position where I'm able to bring the good nights to people, to the local people of where I grew up, where I live. Burton-on-Trent, a small town. I can take them people to big cities to watch the little fat kid from their town in big fights. That for me, that fills me with pleasure. Do you know what I mean? So there's that, but also definitely winning titles. The accolades are what I've done since I got my first trophy in boxing when I was a kid. That gives me the buzz. That little piece of plastic. The only difference is now is belts, so and medals it's been before. So keep progressing, keep winning, keep improving, and entertain.
You mentioned when you used to watch AJ fight when you were working security, you'd look at maybe some of the opponents sometimes and think, I could beat him. Looking right now at the current heavyweight division, maybe in and around that top 10, do you think kind of realistically you're looking at that thinking, I can compete, I can beat those guys?
Well, there's names in there, isn't there? We're having a conversation off camera about elite fighters, and I feel like there is their own little brackets. I mean, you put Usyk, Fury, and AJ in the top 3 in the world right now, and then just under that you have to put Deontay Wilder, Joe Joyce, Luis Ortiz, Dylan White, Filip Hrgovic, Martin Bakole. They're all in a big like bundle. And then you have the crop under that, Joseph Parker in there as well. Then you have the crop under that. Now that crop underneath that, at the minute, for where I'm at, I could definitely compete. I'm not saying I think experience is a massive thing in boxing. I don't want to talk myself into a situation where I'm calling people out, because I'm not. But I'm saying, with the experience and with the expertise I've got and the way I can fight and the way I know I can box, I think they are the names that I would be looking at, just that crop underneath. And one day, in the not too distant future, I have to prove that, it's all right sitting here and talking. Every fighter in the world does that. They talk, I could do this and I could do that. We need to see my progression over the next 18 months. And then we can start saying, he can back up what he's saying. Daniel DeBar in that group as well. Forgot him, Englishman. I've got to back up what I say in the gym, back up what I say on fight night, and then in 6 fight time, 8 fight time, people say, you know what, he wasn't just talking rubbish because the camera was there. He's genuinely moving towards that crop.
That was In Camp with Frazer Clarke. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sure you'll all agree, a genuine top bloke. We've had great access today. Really enjoyed meeting him and the rest of his team. I'm really genuinely intrigued to see how he's going to progress in this heavyweight division over the next couple of years. Now make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and episode 2 will be with you very, very soon.